Okay, so my top takeaways from 2025. This has honestly been one of the most wild years that I have experienced, and I have learned so much, not just about myself, but about how I navigate through online spaces and how those online spaces work. Not every video or every post is created equal, and this year has honestly been such a big lesson in this. Biggest one for me as a woman personally is that not all of my weeks have been created equal. My energy ebbs and flows like the cycle. I'm synced up to the full moon, which, brings lots of fun around it. But in being able to kind of track the lunar cycle, track my own cycle, I have learned that I have one really high energy intensity week, and it is the week following the full moon, following my, my cycle. And in that work, I can get 3/4 of my videos done. I can get 3/4 of my scheduling, of my creating, of my posting. I can do it all. And I have the energy to do that. The week before, no way. No way at all. I am like drained. I am exhausted. Nope. I want to curl up in a ball, maybe do some painting and read a good book. And giving myself permission to act within this ebb and flow of energy has been a game changer. It has literally taken a year of just mentally keeping track and trying to pay attention to get to the point where last month I was able to actually schedule out a month worth of posts and like bulk create a post for every single day on all of my social media platforms. And that alone alleviated so much stress as somebody trying to be a full-time artist and a full-time creator. I love the online spaces, but I need to act and work within what my energy allows. And traditional do it every day, show up and be consistent, like it kind of works, but not really. It just mentally drags me down. Working within my energy flow though, game changer. And that brings me to my second point, which I kind of touched on there, which is that having one post, one super easy cookie cutter reel that I bulk create. I did 2.5 weeks in advance, and then I've just kind of been chipping away when I do have those bouts of energy. That one kind of reel that I know is scheduled out, or I just have to click post real quick and it goes live without pressure, without thought, that has alleviated so much stress. And you know what this post is? I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it is those reels where it's me practicing sharing my art. Day 1, day 2, day 3. I'm currently on day 13 at the time of recording this. And that has just been so amazing because it allows me to show up as my authentic self. It allows other people to see me, to witness me. It allows, and I specifically using the word practice. It's not until I make $1 million. It's not until I'm a full-time creator. I'm not adding pressure. I am giving myself kind of like exposure therapy. I'm getting used to being seen. I'm getting other people used to seeing my face. And, people, oh, look at that. I see a rainbow right now. Sorry, I got distracted. I have ADHD, in case you didn't know, if this is the first video of mine that you've watched. I get distracted. I don't edit these because, this is my real quirky self. So, rainbow. Anyways, what was I saying? Being able to show up and let people see me, let my face become familiar as I navigate the ups and downs of being a creator. I navigate the ups and downs of my anxiety and my depression and all my physical pain issues, and having that single post that is ready to go. I can do almost all of it within about 3 days. Or 3 hours, sorry. And it's just alleviated so much stress, but it took a lot of trial and error to figure out what that post was going to look like. I've been working at posting regularly since about April, and I am only just now at the end of December, well, I guess it was really the beginning of December, starting to find my footing. And I guess that kind of leads me into my next point. Point number 3, the third takeaway from 2025 is that standard advice, content pillars, and get at it and do this and do that, like it doesn't work for me. I like to do what I've kind of termed, I don't know if other people use this or not, it's kind of like content threads. So it's following the thread of a journey. It's following the weaving of my art, my animals, my, joy in getting to spend time in the mountains and outdoors, following the thread of my mental health journey. I have never been somebody who is stagnant. My energy does not stay the same. I ebb and flow, and what I work towards ebbs and flows. And being able to be in a place where I can give myself permission to do that. I can accept myself fully for doing that, for going against, traditional advice, has been such a huge game changer. And it's a long time to get here. When I first started my YouTube channel, I think it was back in April, I was watching all the videos, I was listening to all the advice, and I've absorbed so much of it. It was definitely a hyper-focused special interest of mine. And in absorbing all of that and so much trial and error, I am learning what actually works for me. And, it's not easy, but trying to put myself in those shoes, trying to show up in an authentic way that is easy for me, that once I get over that fear and that anxiety of being seen, because that's still there, I find my footing, I find my voice, I find my authentic self, and that is the version of me that I want to share. I don't want to share what I think I should be posting, or how I think I should be performing or looking, or, showing up. Part of that is also working on my public speaking too, because there's been a lot of that. I am getting better. One thing I'm noticing is that I say the word honestly so much, especially if I am replying to a comment. You're going to see that word. I don't know. I might work on that. I might not. But I try to be an honest person. And so when I say honestly, those are my honest feelings. Anyways, little side tangent there. I really do hope this is resonating. Because I do want to be sharing more of this content. I do want to be sharing more of my journey and really authentically connecting with people, because, it's hard in online spaces when, all your friends are long distance besties who live across the country or in completely different countries and time zones. Building those connections online with other people can be so important. And let's move into my next point here. Point number 4 is, well, if you don't know me, I'm a witch. I'm an artist. I am a spiritual practitioner. I pay attention to my energy. I'm a mental health advocate. And encompassing all of that is doing, let me figure out how I'm going to word this. There might be a rough draft here, but we're just going to roll with it. I show up in a lot of ways online. And as I've gotten more consistent over the month of December, I've realized I can't be, obsessing over my analytics, because I am one to want to do that. And, I try to limit it. I try to have a reason to go in. But B, I can't be obsessing over comments. I might read the comment right away, but sometimes I am mentally not in the space to reply, and I've had to allow that to be okay for myself. There is nothing that says I need to reply instantly. And in doing this and realizing this and understanding this, I kind of pull from my therapy, pull from my spiritual practice, and I create a container. I hold space. If I myself am too dysregulated, too anxious, too whatever it happens to be in that moment, I'm not going to reply to the comment, because I cannot show up as the version of myself who needs to be there to support people, because a lot of what I'm sharing is honest, is real, is difficult, especially at some times. So I create this container, and I specifically hold space. I close my eyes, mentally open the space, hold it, and then I go in and I answer the comments. And then when it's done, I'll just close the jar, put it on the shelf. The space is done. I can pull my energy back into myself. And it's the same way I help friends who are really, really struggling mentally too. And approaching my content that way, whether it's replying and interacting with people or whether it's actually putting myself out there and creating the content, I am purposely creating this vessel where when I am in this vessel, when I'm in this energetic state, I'm holding the space to be this bubbly-ish most of the time presence online, though I am sharing those real hard moments too, because I do find that is important. That's two sides of the same coin. So those are some of my biggest takeaways from 2025 as trying to show up as me, trying to become a creator full-time. It's been rough. I'm not going to lie about that. It's definitely been tough financially too. But I am trusting in the universe. I am continuing. I am pursuing. And, I am building something that I am proud of. And I think that's the most important part. So what are your takeaways? It's definitely been a wild year, and I would love to hear them. I would love to hold that space for you, whether it's learning something about your mental health, whether it's learning about who you are or how you present yourself online, if you're someone like me trying to be a content creator. I hope you have an amazing 2026, and, we'll see you next year.